Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I hope you're having an amazing day. For most of today, I had no idea what day it was. It's been one of those days. It seems so weird to me that I count Monday through Thursday kind of my week, because once Friday hits, I'm at the shop, I'm at the store, and my entire way of being changes. I have Monday through Thursday to do the things here, to do shipping, to do things at Star Cottage Studio, things around the house, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I'm mostly up at the shop. So it's like kind of that's my like this is my week, and then it's not quite a weekend because it's not the same feeling as a weekend, but it's a different part of the week. So today's my last day of this week, and Andrew and I were up here at the cottage for a little bit today. We started off kind of in the morning. We had some breakfast. Andrew made some bread last night, overnight. So when I woke up, we had some kind of butter and jelly toast. And then we came up to the cottage to do a few things up here. And uh, we were up here for a while. We did some packing and shipping. I was just about to get on here and say, if you want one of our treasure boxes, there's only one left. But just before I went and hit the button to go live here, it's sold. So all of the treasure boxes have sold. Um, we had only one left in stock earlier today, and uh, we got all 9 of them shipped out today. That's one of the things that we did while we were up here. I got all of them shipped out. We just got the last order for the last one, so that will ship out tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. I'm going to try and ship that tonight, so I can drop it off at the post office with some other things tomorrow morning, as long as this live doesn't go too late. And anyway, so I was going to say there's one left, but there's not. So they're all sold out. So thank you if you grabbed one of the treasure boxes. We think you are going to love them. They are so packed full of check glass. Um, it's like the equivalent of, I think it was six like color coordinated kits that Andrew made and put in there, um, plus some bags of loose. They're definitely, like we always say, the normal cost on those was going to be 75. They sold out before we even took them up to the normal price. We were doing a $68 introductory price, and I was like, okay, after Friday, if they aren't sold out, they're going to go up in price. That never happened. We didn't get there. And so normally what we factor is $75, and then we always try and give you double the retail amount at least in there. And so there is at least double the retail amount. Most likely there's actually a lot more. You're going to love them. They are amazing. If you got one, thank you for grabbing that. Like I said, they are shipped out, all except this last one that just came in literally minutes before I started the live. So these were not a pre-order this time. We had said that they are ready to ship, and they have gotten to the post office. We dropped them off on our way home this afternoon. So we were up here this morning until the afternoon, dropped things off at the post office. I've made multiple trips to the post office today. When we were home, Andrew has been working on things for his drop on Friday. Tomorrow. That's tomorrow. We've been so busy. He's not gotten a ton of stuff. He's been trying to squeeze in time to do things for the drop. So he's working on that most of the day today. Let me say hi to people because I feel bad ignoring people. Danette is here. Hello, Danette. Thanks for joining us. Andrew is here. Thank you, Andrew, for hanging out while you're at home working. Marianne is here. Hello, Marianne. Everyone's saying hi. Len is here. Hello, Len. Thank you so much for joining us. Marianne says it's also my last day of the week. Nice. Danette says, "Did I get the last treasure hunt box?" You did. You got the very last one. I wasn't gonna say. I saw your name there, but I wasn't gonna tell. I wasn't gonna tell the world your business. But yes, you got the last treasure hunt box. And remember, um, okay, let me back up. Let me keep saying hi. Get to people. No treasure hunt pour moi, says Marianne. Sorry, they could go to Canada, but the shipping is a little bit expensive because they have to go priority because they're already pre-packed. But I did turn on Canada just in case. Um, Susan's here. Hello, Susan. Thanks for joining us. Let's see here. Everyone's saying hi. Marianne says, and someone gets a special gift. Yes. So that's what I was going to say before I said, let's back up. Andrew included one of his enameled pendants in one of those boxes. It could be in the box that's still sitting here. I don't know. Um, we don't know. We don't know. We pack them up, we seal them shut. That's why we say that they can't be combined with any other orders. You can combine them in your ordering, but I can't add anything to the box because we seal them up. We put that little special gift inside one of them. We seal them up, we mix them up, and then we put shipping labels on them. So we don't know who is getting it, but hopefully somebody will enjoy the enamel pendant that Andrew put in there. That enamel pendant is one that is valued around 36 extra dollars, I think. So that's a little extra bonus for someone, whoever gets that. I hope they enjoy it. We picked one of our favorites. So Leslie's here. Susie's here. Hello, Susie. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us too, Leslie. Um, Ba, ba, ba. I'm getting kneaded and screamed at by Smokey, says Susan. That's cute. Andrew's thinking, I'm thinking of doing sourdough, only 6 years late to that trend. That's true, but hey, never too late. Andrew says, if people are sad they missed out, maybe I can do another run. They'll be completely different, though. Maybe, maybe. But yeah, it was really good. Thank you all who grabbed a mystery box. They're not treasure hunt boxes. We used to call them mystery boxes, and then everyone and their cousins started making mystery boxes and mystery bags and mystery this and mystery that. Um, when we started it years ago, not many people were doing that. And now they are. And so we turn them into treasure hunt boxes. We hunt for treasure here at Star Cottage Studio and pack the boxes full. And they are full this time of treasure. So we hope you enjoy those if you got one. Thank you so much for your support. We had a great time also in our sale this past week. 35% off. That was the flash sale that came through. A lot of you grabbed things during that. We really appreciate that as well. That sale is now over, but I'm still working through packing up things from that sale. The mystery boxes were kind of very easy because they were packed in their boxes to ship out. It was very easy to print labels and ship them out. So I am going back now and working through the sale stuff and combining people's orders. If you have invoices and sale stuff, I'm trying to get those combined for everybody and get out as much as I can. So we've been here at the cottage every day working on shipping, and we appreciate all of your support. Again, if you ever need something shipped out immediately and you have things that are combined and it's a little messy, please let me know. Otherwise, I will work on things as I get to things for you, assuming there's no huge hurry. But if you do have a hurry, please let me know. Send me an email. Don't feel bad about doing it, because if I know, then I can get things out for you. Miss Lucy is paving and pacing. Her anxiety is so bad with the weather change. Oh, that's a shame. Is the weather changing? It's supposed to storm tonight and into tomorrow morning until about 6 a.m., I think. So from like around now, I think. I don't know if it's raining out there. I don't hear rain on the roof. Um, Okay, so I guess it's moved to about 9 p.m. It's supposed to start raining. So around 9 um, to 6 a.m. tomorrow, it's supposed to be raining, I guess. Um, so yeah. Um, yeah, so we were we were here. We dropped off things at the post office multiple times today. I went to the grocery store today. Um, Stopped and did a few other errands, and then spent an hour outside. We're trying to carve out, Andrew and I made this kind of pact. We're trying to carve out at least 30 minutes to an hour each day to work on stuff around the house because we get so busy with doing stuff for the store that we kind of, you know, forget to, make time for things like that. And we're kind of just scrambling all the time, like, oh, I need to do laundry because I have no pants, or, it's that kind of stuff. And so we're trying to carve out a half hour to an hour every day to do things. And so the flower beds were looking grungy today. They had been for a while. So I spent an hour while Andrew was working on his art for the art drop on Friday, tomorrow at 7. Um, I spent an hour outside with the cats. Um, well, I took the cats out and most of them came out with me. Gilbert did not. I don't know where Gilbert was. But then there was a big loud noise and Ida Bell hit it running up to the back porch, and Barnaby followed and Gertie followed because she's kind of the leader. So when she runs to the porch, people run to the porch, right? Tallulah, she just minding herself. She did not care. She was not afraid. She was not afflicted by it. And so after about probably 20 minutes, the other cats went in. Tallulah and I spent the last 40 minutes out there together working on the flower beds. And she was chasing leaves that were blowing around. And we were playing with sticks because I was pulling sticks out of the old like cone flowers and um, uh, what else? She really liked it was, I think, the goldenrod. I think they were goldenrod. They still had some of the little old flowers on them, and she loved when I played with those. Um, so we were out there playing and doing some yard work, cleaning up the back flower beds. I should have started in the front, but she was helping me weed. Andrew says she's helping you weed. She was out there playing around and running around with me. So that's pretty cute. She's my little gardening buddy. Um, so I spent about an hour doing that, did a little bit of cleanup, came in the house, got myself cleaned up, and came back up to the cottage to work on some more um, uh, packing and shipping. I have a few more packages to go out. I had to pick some orders for people who might pick up in the shop this weekend. Andrew says the front yard almost doesn't exist for us. I know it's terrible. People think your front yard is kind of like what people look at, and they probably do, but our backyard is what we usually pay most attention to, which is kind of sad. Andrew says Gilbert and Tallulah are sitting sweetly in the window. Oh, that's good, because those are the two that usually have a little bit of a beef with each other. So that's nice. Maybe Tallulah getting to spend time outside softened her up a little bit. Um, Dinesh says that was supposed to be pacing and pacing. Darn fat fingers. That's all right. I figured that's what it was, but I was like, I don't know. Is paving and pacing something I've never heard of? You don't know. You don't know. Um, Danette says, I can't wait to get the stuff I got from the sale. I'm eagerly anticipating my purchases. Yeah, I'm working on trying to get those out. Of course, shipping will be paused now, generally from Friday, usually Thursday night here until back to I start shipping on Monday. And we try and put that in our shipping on our online store. We put it in our shipping policy that we ship Monday through Thursday. Those are our working days when we count shipping, is Monday through Thursday, because I'm at the store Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And while sometimes I've set up shipping stations up there, it's not easy to do. Um, so we really kind of do that. I do Monday through Thursday. Um, let's see here. Susan says, Norman, this little guy is quite the character. That's cute. Susan says, "Oh, for the first time in many weeks, I got all the outstanding laundry done." How does that even happen? What does that feel like? I can't even imagine having all outstanding laundry done. Like, did the skies open and the and like, I don't know, beams of light come out? I don't even know what that could feel like. Um, Susan says, "William, I just paid my final invoice. Can you let me know if I have any more due?" Yes, I'll take a look. Shoot me an email if you think about it to remind me, and I'll take a look tomorrow when I'm up at the shop, and if not tonight, and let you know if there's anything outstanding. Um, yeah. So, and that's the thing is if you ever don't know, I know we do these invoices every night, and I know some of them go, here and there. Sometimes they're $1. We send invoices for 50 cents sometimes, because somebody buys something little. So that can happen. And if you ever need to know if there's anything outstanding, please never hesitate to ask. Hey, Anne, thanks for joining us. Glad you could be here tonight. Um, Marion says that never happens for me. What never happens? Oh, the laundry? Probably the laundry. Yeah, never, never. Um, Soon says it feels a bit weird. No, no beams of light or anything. I feel like you deserve beams of light, because that is, yeah. You deserve more than that. Like, there should have been, like, somebody should have made you dinner or so. I don't know. Um, yeah, it's not something that happens. I noticed I think I'm a little bit sunburned. It was hot out today. Um, the sun was hot, when I was out today. I think it went up to about 70 today. Um, what? We have a tornado watch? We have a tornado watch until 11 p.m. tonight. So apparently it's going to get wild. Um, so I'm kind of glad I'm up here at the cottage. I don't know what it's going to be like while I'm up here. Um, because but when it's wild weather, I kind of like to be up here to know what's happening a little bit. It helps me feel better about it, so I don't feel like I have to run up here and check on things. So we'll see how that goes. But until 11 tonight, we've got a tornado watch. That's news to me. Yeah, it was 71 today. Right now, it says it is 66, but feels like 60. I could feel a little bit more of a chill in the air. I had to put my sweater back on here. Um, but earlier I did not need it. I did not need it at all. Um, or at least a gold star, says Marianne, right? Susan says we had a record high of 94 degrees today. That is insane. 94 degrees. Susan says maybe I'll wear a sparkly pair of earrings or something, right? You deserve to. You deserve to. Um, Cold but sunny this afternoon, says Marianne. Susie said I had all my windows open today. We had the windows open in the house too. The cats loved it. Yeah, we've had the house airing out. Um, Leslie, hello Leslie, says it was 76 in Philly today. Nice. That's nice. Um, said Susan says, I'm telling you, this weather is just weird. Be very careful. Yeah. Yeah. That's why, like, I like to be up here, especially with things like a tornado watch. Um, that's wild. Um, yeah, but I like I like to be up here. So if something happens, I can kind of, I don't know what I can do. It's like it's in the middle. It's gonna be in the middle of the night. It's gonna be at nighttime. I can't do much, but at least I feel like I can be around. I don't know. It makes me feel better. Norma says it was 80 here today. We're going to have one of those days tomorrow where the temp drops all day to a freeze warning. Um, so William, watch out for those daytime falling temps coming your way. Yeah, that means they'll be coming our way for sure. That's it. That's what I was. So I was cleaning out the flower beds today, And normally, like, we leave the leaves that all fall and stuff in there so that they protect the ground layer and, bugs and insects and the plants, the little budding plants. And normally when I clean out the flower beds, I pull all of those dead leaves out. But today I left them in. I cut some of the dead leaves from some of the plants out, but I left kind of like a layer because we're supposed to still, in like the next 2 days or so, go below freezing at night. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Today's supposed to be 71. Friday, we're going from 60 down to 29. So that's probably Friday night because Saturday is going to hit 23 as a low. So probably that Friday night into Saturday is going to be 29 to 23. We're only going to get up to about 40 degrees on Saturday. Then we'll go back down to 30 at night on Sunday. And then we're going to 56, 59, 67, 75, 68, 54, 63. And at night, it's going to stay in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So I think maybe we're heading into actual spring. But we got to get through these next 2 days of freezing weather. Our poor blueberry bush just started budding outside. Um, the buds are starting to pop, so I'm hoping it doesn't get frozen out. We might throw a sheet over it, but it's kind of like in our in our yard. It's like you just got to be strong. That's kind of how it is. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, yeah, we're supposed to get. Looks like tomorrow, Norma as well. We're gonna get those dropping temperatures. Um, Dennis says, I hope you check for ticks. A friend of mine had one last week and ended up on antibiotics. Darn ticks, I hate them. I have not yet. Um, so I do need to do that because they seem to love me. I've checked, like, I wasn't too much into things, and I had long pants on, long socks, long shirts. So hopefully I'll be okay. But if I do have one, I'll send it to get it tested like I always do. Um, and they have a free place here in Pennsylvania you can send ticks to, and they test them and let you know if they are um, if they have Lyme or other things that they might carry. Um, and most of the time they come back negative for me. One time they came back positive, and I asked my doctor for antibiotics. Andrew said the house doesn't usually get ticks. Yeah, usually here at the house, we don't get, or there at the house, we don't get a lot of ticks, thankfully. There aren't deer coming through the yard generally. Every once in a while, we see one. But we also have a lot of possums, and they love to eat those ticks. So we're thankful for all the possums that come through our yards. Um, but here at the cottage, yes, I get ticks up here like constantly. I don't even have to be doing much. Um, but it's just I get it all the time up here. So I've had the ticks tested probably 4 or 5 times at least. Only once did they come back with a positive result, and so I got antibiotics, even though they're supposed to not need antibiotics if they haven't been on you for like 24 to 48 hours. But I got it anyway, and my doctor gave it to me, which I was glad for. Um, I don't like to take antibiotics if I don't have to. That whole thing about not taking too many, not building up super antibiotics, all that kind of stuff, but super bugs. But I did. But I finished them all. So um Kim says, thought I was late. Hi all. You're not too late, just a little bit. Andrew knocks on woods. I've never gotten ticks. Yeah, he's never gotten them. Um, uh, let's see here. Leslie says, ticks don't like me. Lucky you. Um, they seem to love me. I didn't know this. I grew up running around in fields with grasses higher than me when I was young. Never ever saw a tick in my entire life until we got the cottage. And then up here, for some reason, the ticks love me up here. Um, but I'm usually out mowing and weed eating and moving sticks around and cleaning up things. And um, there are a lot of deer that pass through here because It's not quite an open field up here, but we have a yard that's open and the deer do come through. And I see deer in the yard. They love to eat our plants. Um, so we see a lot of deer up here, and we have woods behind us, and there are a lot of woods behind us and a lot of big fields behind us. So, you're going to see ticks probably. Um, and the winter doesn't get cold enough anymore to kill them. Used to get really cold in the winter for long enough periods of time that it kept the tick populations under control a little better. Um, doesn't happen much anymore. Kim says a tick testing service. Wow. Yeah, and it's free. Um, I forget what it's called, but it's I don't know if anybody outside of Pennsylvania can do it, but it's in Pennsylvania at least. And I think they do it because they're trying to track where the ticks are. But yeah, they test it for free. You take it off your body, you put it in a plastic bag, you send it off. To them in an envelope. You fill out a form online and you attach it so it creates a testing number and all that. You send it to them and they test it. And you can pay for a higher level. I usually don't. I just pay for no, I don't pay at all. It's free. I use the free level and it'll test for Lyme and a few other things at the free level and let you know. And they send you a text message. In a few days, you'll get a text message that says that it tested negative or tested positive. It's really great. Um, Danette says possums are awesome. I love them. Me too. They're so cute. They're so cute. Um, Susie's here. Hello, Susie. Thanks for joining us. Leslie says, however, if there's a mosquito around, I suddenly become a buffet. Mosquitoes don't tend to like me that much. Every once in a while, I'll get bit by one, but it's rare. My dad, however, we grew up by a lake, so there was always wet. There was a lake, and then there was a small kind of pond beside it, and there was always standing water and we had tons of mosquitoes, but we also had like swallows and we had bats and we had lots of things that would eat them up too. But we would go like sometimes in the boat on the lake. Um, and anytime we were down by the lake, if my dad was out in the yard, he would get eaten alive by mosquitoes. He'd come in with like 6 mosquito bites, and I was like, nothing. Um, and so, yeah, they don't seem to like me. Um, but uh, I know they do like some people. Ticks apparently like me though. They find their way into like I mow with like long sleeves, long pants. Somehow the ticks still get me. So I do need to check tonight. Let's see. It has to do with your blood RH factor. Yeah, I've heard that in your breath, your exhalation, your carbon dioxide they're attracted to apparently too. I don't know. But um Susan says we had our one and only flea incident a few years ago after an especially warm fall and winter. Not fun. Had to send the cats to daycare while the house was bombed. Oh, I can't even imagine. I cannot imagine um, dealing with that. Thank goodness. Knock on wood, our cats have not gotten fleas outside. Um, it is terrible. It is terrible. Um, my grandmother, she had, they had a fairly decent sized house, and I'll never forget when they had fleas at one point. Like she went through and she would put salt down on her carpets, because salt helps dry out the eggs. So it would be like a constant thing of salting the carpets and vacuuming it up and salting the carpets and vacuuming it up. And then she also used, what's that one stuff? I think it's a borax. Put down borax because that helps kill them. Because she didn't want to try it. She didn't want to have to bomb the house because it's just like, so she did that, salt and borax, and she was able to get rid of them, thankfully. Um, ba, ba, ba. Susan says, Leslie, do you mean RH negative or positive? RH, uh, oh, negative or positive. Um, Marion says, yes, just stop breathing to foil mosquitoes. I know, right? Just stop breathing. It's so simple. It's so simple. Um, Kim says fleas in SoCal all year round. It's horrible. All my cats have been indoors for that reason. Yeah. Susan says they're nasty little creatures. Yep. Marianne says no fleas here. That's good. Andrew says Paolo and Babette got fleas in the apartment. That was a nightmare, and they never went outside. Yeah, yeah, they did actually. We had fleas in the apartment at one point. The most they went outside was like on the porch, which was a second level porch, um, and somehow got fleas. Um, and so that was, yeah, that was terrible because we had to salt and borax, and thankfully that was enough to get them. Um, to kill them all, and we didn't have to do too much. I don't know if we did any kind of other flea stuff. We salted a lot, boraxed a lot, um, and I don't know that we used any other chemicals. Thank goodness. Um, let's see. Len says, "Yeah, but all that is awful for pets too." Yes, but not as bad as spraying chemicals that don't go away or easily, at least. Yeah, you don't want your cats eating too much salt. That's not a good thing. Um, Leslie says, I'm not sure. Andrew says they did have to wear collars. Yes, we did use collars on them. We did use collars too. Um, and that helped. So yeah, that was the whole thing. Hey May, thanks for joining us. How are you doing? How's everyone today? So our day has been that. Cottage, well, we had a little bit of breakfast. Cottage. I sent out an email about having the last, I think it was the last two mystery boxes, or mystery treasure hunt boxes. Now I'm feeling itchy now that I'm talking about bugs. I'm like, oh, it's not really anything. Um, I sent out an email this morning while I was having a little bit of breakfast or set it up. And then we went up to the cottage, did a few things, got the treasure hunt boxes out the door, um, came home and did some flower bed cleaning, which I got a little bit of sun. I can see it. And then I wasn't prepared for that. And then came back up to the cottage and have been working on shipping and packing and preparing for the live. So that's been my day. Andrew was, I think I got stuff to make. He wanted to make split pea soup. So I think we're having split pea soup for dinner. I think that's the idea. Andrew says, let me know if folks want more boxes. Did you not get a treasure hunt box and you'd like one? Let us know. Um, Len says, I felt itchy too, but it's the feather pillow. I don't do feather pillows. I don't know if I'm allergic to them. I had a feather pillow when I was a kid growing up, and I felt like I was allergic to it. So I've never had a feather pillow since. May did some gardening. Nice. I was just doing weed clearing mostly, old weeds, clearing them out. I did trim some trees. Um, and some bushes, and I dug some things out that don't need to be there anymore. And so I did some of that kind of stuff too. Got out the shovel and the tree trimmer and did some stuff there too. So that's that. Andrew has been working hard today preparing for his art drop tomorrow. Um, I don't even know what all he's going to have for the art drop tomorrow, but I saw some of the things he's been making, and they're very cool. Did you see the Tagua nut stuff that he's been showing? It's pretty good stuff. Susie says, I'm good. Finally got my car back from the shop today. It's been in since the 11th. Oh, that's hard. It's hard. Hard not to have a car. I don't know if it's hard not to have a car there. It would be very difficult to not have a car here. But maybe there it's easier. I don't know, depending on where you're located. Um, Andrew says, my grandma had a feather pillow and one of the feathers got stuck in her head. My grandpa said she was turning into a chicken. LOL. That's funny. That's funny. Marianne says, and I thought a week was a long time, Susie. Yeah, that's a long time. From the 11th until now to the 26th. That's a long time not to have a car if you need it. May added a couple of flowers and cleaned up oak leaves. Yeah, I still have to clean up the leaves. Um, we don't even have trees, and yet, I mean, we do have a few trees, but we don't have big trees, and we had big leaves. I don't know where they all come from, but I'm glad for them. I leave them there. We leave them there over winter and into the spring so that, you're supposed to leave leaves so that the insects and all that. Plus, it helps the newborn plants have a place to ride out the frosts. So after the next 2 days or so, then I can feel like I can go out and pull out all the leaves and let all the new growth really get some sunlight. But I didn't want to do that today because we're going to get some cold temperatures in the next few days. Andrew says we didn't have the van for a few months. That was hard. Yeah, at least we had one car, um, but we did not have the van for months as the shop was working on it and trying to figure out the issue. Thankfully, though, they did figure it out. My mom at one point, I don't know if we talked about this. My mom at one point, while we were in Italy, she was like, "So, what's the warranty like on your van right now?" Um, and that was like a sinking feeling. We were in Venice and I was like, "Ugh." Because you don't ask that question unless it's a big issue, right? Um, and she's like, "And how much do you have left on your payments?" And I was like, "Uh." Um, but with the help of my brother, because he did some research for us, they figured out something to try on our van. And knock on wood, it has worked and continued to work. And our van was brought back to life, literally brought back to life, because they were talking about um, um, very possibly junking the van. And the van is only, what is it, a 2018 or a 2019? Something like, is it even that? Yeah, I think it's something like that. Um, which seems old now, maybe, but doesn't feel old to us. Um, and so yeah, it was a scary, scary thing. But they worked on it while we were away. They worked on it while we were back, and we were thankfully able to have a car without having to like have the entire transmission rebuilt or have the thing junked. Which, we got it a few years after it was, so I think it's a 2018, and I think we got it in like 2020 or 2021, something like that. So we haven't had it that long. Andrew said, I just finished the ugly cherries. Oh, good. That's nice. Um, I got Andrew some he's been craving dried fruit lately. And I was at the grocery store today, and they had these things called ugly cherries, and they had ugly peaches, I think ugly cherries, maybe ugly mango. Um, and uh, apparently it's fruit that is ugly that they won't sell when it's regular because it's dented or, it's ugly. It's not good looking fruit to sell as fruit, which is crazy to me. But so they dehydrate it and it's pure. There's no additives, there's no sugar added, there's no anything. Um, and they call it ugly fruit, ugly cherries. So he just finished those. Andrew says, I don't know how soon we have to flush the transmission again. I have it written down, and we have an odometer reading going that we have to keep an eye on that. Um, but it's not for a while yet. Andrew says 2019. We got it in 2019. Okay. Andrew says, I've been craving candy, but at least with dried fruit, I can pretend I'm being healthy. Yeah, dried fruit's better than candy, right? Let's see here. Susie says, it was hard. They didn't have any sense of urgency at all. They finally gave me a loaner car about a week into it, but I had to get a little ugly with them since I have an extended warranty. That's no good. And they were supposed to provide a loaner. Well, at least you got one of those. That's good. Um, Susan says, Susie, that's maddening. You pay for this stuff. You shouldn't have to put up with that. And it's true, right? Len says, that's what's wrong with Poopy's car. So the mechanic told us to ditch it. The transmission. Yeah. Our mechanic was pretty much telling us the same thing. Then my brother looked it up, found one person who saved a bunch, and it's this very specific thing that happens on our specific van. And they were able to do what this guy said, flush some part of the transmission in some way out, and it worked. Thank goodness. May says, as I reach for sour gummy bears. I know, I almost bought jelly beans today. I have been craving jelly beans so much because it's Easter time and I see them everywhere. And so I've been craving jelly beans. I almost bought them again today, but I didn't. I held out. Been trying to be good. Susan says, except for dark chocolate. Isn't that health food? LOL. Right? Health food. Dark chocolate. Eat it all that you want. Right? Um, yeah. Yeah. I can feel that I have not drank enough today. So sorry I'm drinking in front of you, but um I need to drink more because I was sweating a lot today and I can feel it in my face and in my head that I did not drink enough. Um, Anderson, I've been craving those fruit jellies. I probably need vitamin C. Yeah, go take a vitamin C pill. Take your multivitamin. That tastes like candy. I just had some of our multivitamins today too. Um, Len says he is sad about Clara. He hasn't named the new used car yet. That is sad. It is sad. Um, we were luckily able to flush out, even though the mechanic was like, "There's nothing we can do." We were able to get it to work. Thank goodness. I hope it keeps doing it. Andrew says they do taste like candy. I know the vitamins we get. I forget what they're called. Nature Made. Is it Nature Made? Forget who makes our vitamins. I like them. I used to get the compressed just capsules, or tablets, large tablets, lozenges, whatever they call them. Um, because the brand of vitamins that we get, I like. Like I feel like it gives me energy. I feel like they are good vitamins. Um, but I can almost never find the ones that I used to buy. They were like a super souped up version of the vitamins. And they always made me feel good when I took them regularly. I felt much better, but I can't find them anymore. And all I can find are the gummy ones. And so they don't have as much of the like greens and vitamin because they had a lot of fruit and vitamins and stuff in them too, or fruit and vegetables. Excuse me, greens and fruit and whatever, in addition to the vitamins. And it it was one of those things that I used to really like them, but now they only have the gummies. Andrew said those pills were like horse pills, so big. They were. They were giant pills. Maybe that's why they don't make them as much anymore, because nobody wants to take them. But I felt so good ever since I was a kid, like a teenager, really. I would buy that brand because when I took them, it made me feel good. And now now we do the gummies at least. Um, let's see here. I eat dark chocolate Hershey Kisses every night and call them health food, says Norma. Nice. Nice. My grandmother always had a glass jar of Hershey Kisses. Sometimes it had Hershey Kisses in it, and sometimes it had M&Ms in it. But and I think I have it now, but we haven't gotten our house to a point where I put it out. But she always had that in there when we were growing up, and she didn't really eat a lot of chocolate. I think it was more for us kids, but she always had chocolate around the house. even though I never really saw her eating much of it. She liked gummies and she liked licorice. I get my love of licorice from her too. Um, Susan says we usually get red cars, so they're all named the Red Menace. Nice. Our car is Appa, and our van is Stella Bluebell. And Stella Bluebell was almost no more for a while, but thankfully it's working good. And I'm gonna knock on wood because we don't want anything to happen to Stella Bluebell. Susie said it ended up being over 4,100 in repairs. I had to pay about 250 for uncovered parts. Well, thank goodness for the warranty. Norman just said, thank God for the warranty, right? That's really good. Um, Andrew says if we had it around, we'd eat it. That's the thing. It would never sit around for very long in our house. If there's chocolate around, I'm gonna eat it. Marianne says, sorry, Hershey's doesn't count as health food. Don't yuck someone's yum. Marianne. Let Norma have her health food. um, Norma says, okay, I typed goodness and it auto-corrected it to God. Yeah. Um, hey, it happens, right? Marianne says, car is not red. Car is red, but not a menace. That's good. Marianne's car is named Car, apparently. Car's named Car. We always give our cars names. You gotta have names. I thank my car almost every day for getting me back and forth. At the end of the night, as I lock up Appa, I say, thank you, Appa. Kim says, friends coming over for craft circle tomorrow. And besides all the snacky snacks, I'm planning Earl Grey blackberry orange mocktails as the healthy option until somebody finds the vodka. That sounds good. That sounds good. Earl Grey blackberry orange. But that would be really good. So he says, my car is green, so it's called the Green Machine. Um, Susan says, Marianne, it's more a reference to the main driver, not me. Yeah, that's funny. Anyway, that's what's been going on today. Tomorrow, I'm going to be up at the store. I don't know if Andrew's going with me tomorrow or not. He might very possibly. If you haven't seen, Andrew's looking for a helper here at the cottage. He's trying to exchange teaching time for some work time. And so somebody was talking about possibly meeting him at the store tomorrow to discuss things. So I don't know if he's going to be going with me or not. But I will be up at the shop tomorrow and then Saturday and Sunday as well. So if you're in Johnstown and you're watching this, come hang out with me. Come say hi. Um, Marion says, does your hubs have red hair? um, so yeah, that's my plan. I will be doing my normal gathering and sorting of stuff as much as I can while I'm up there. I need to do some more spring cleaning up at the store. So I'm probably going to be working on that. I worked on some shelves. I've been trying to do a few shelves um, as much as I can every weekend and in amongst everything else. So trying to get the place cleaned up a little bit and do a spring cleaning up there. Of course, on Sunday will be the D-Stash, Sunday night. So if you see anything in the current D-Stash that you want, on the Andrew Thornton Project D-Stash group that we have on Facebook, if you see anything in there that you want, please claim it before Saturday night. Once Sunday hits, I usually start taking down those posts unless I get really busy, which sometimes happens. But if you see something in there, that'll help us as well. We appreciate all of it right now because we have a lot of things that we're trying to do. Andrew got accepted to um, show his profile work, in his brooches and things in a show, in a kind of major show. So that's going to take a little bit of extra funds to make all that happen. And then we have some repairs here we're trying to do at the cottage so that we can get ready for some classes this spring or summer. That's the plan. So that will definitely any help, any support. Let your friends know we exist. Um, and we've seen some people coming through that we haven't seen for a while, and that's really nice too. And if you haven't, if you know somebody who you haven't seen hanging out with us for a while, please check in on them, just to make sure they're okay. We try and do that every once in a while. If we think of people that we're like, we haven't seen this person in a while, they used to be on the lives quite a bit, I like to check in on them. Andrew and I both try to do that, and it's important to us. And sometimes I just take some time to think things through and like, who haven't we seen in a while and are they doing okay? Because the world is wild right now and you never know how people are doing unless you ask. So, um, if you do know somebody who you feel like you haven't seen in a while, check in on them, make sure they're okay, let them know that you're thinking about them. Um, uh, Says Marianne, no hubs once had cool black hair. It's gray now. Says gray is pretty common at our age. Yes, although my grays are covered, I don't have a pretty gray. Marianne says, I don't either, Susan. I don't know. Mine is definitely going gray. Mine is gray. More and more and more and more. But Andrew says, over the years, we've lost a lot of good people. Yes, we have. Um, and so, it's good just to check in and make sure people know that you're thinking of them if they are still around. And it helps. It helps. Um, the world is just plain weird, says Susan. Yep. Norma says, speaking of that, Michelle hasn't been on for a while. She has not been on for a while, but I have seen her liking people's things. So I know she was taking a break from things for a while. She had mentioned that. So we also try to give people space if they feel like they need space too. Um, Marion says she has posted places in the last couple of days. Yes, she has. Yes, she has. I've seen that. So I know she's still active. I know she's still doing things. If she chooses not to join in and hang out on the live, then maybe she's protecting her own self. And we also try to give people space in that too. So yeah, that's what's going on here, y'all. That's what's going on here. I hope you're all doing well. What are y'all having for dinner? Or what did you have for dinner if you already ate? Um, I think we're having split pea soup. Andrew says, I don't think she likes our politics. I think that's part of it. I think that's a part of it. Which is why I think we haven't seen her in a while. Um, so yeah. Um, so that's that. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna change that part of myself. But and that's okay. That happens. So um Marianne had candied salmon. What even is candied salmon? How what? Um, oh, I did pick up some sardines for the cats. They restocked the sardines in the grocery store. So Gertie's gonna have a little extra tonight. She's gonna be happy about that. Um, they were I think they were pretty good today. They've been pretty sweet today. So they're probably gonna get little extra treats. Grilled cheese and apple slices, says Susan. That sounds good. It sounds good. Um, ba, ba, ba. Len says, I had a bad news day, so asked who wanted to chat. Only Lisa and Andrew checked on me, and I appreciate it. It's good. I'm glad. I didn't see that at all. So I'm sorry I did not see it. That's the thing with, like Facebook, is I do not see a lot of people. It's a hard thing. As much as it's supposed to connect people, it is difficult because it doesn't. It doesn't really. Unless you want to be angered about something. I feel like it connects you with things to anger you. But I'm glad Andrew checked in. I'm glad he saw that. Susan says, William, the background behind you is so colorful. It is, right? It is. We've got our sublimation machine here kind of in the way, but I usually set it down below, but I need to do a few things with it. But yeah, it's Andrew has it very colorful back here. Somebody asked me the other day about buying, I think, these ones. Andrew doesn't generally sell these. So I didn't reply to your email yet. I just realized I didn't reply to your email. But generally, we don't sell these behind because they're really messy to try to sell, for one, and they are the backdrop right now. So, but if we do decide to sell them, we do have a list. Um, uh, ba, ba, ba. Marianne says it's smoked and treated with maple syrup. Oh, that sounds delicious. Um, May had grilled chicken marinated in Vietnamese style lemongrass sauce with rice. That sounds delicious too. Um, May says, Yum, Marianne. I know you both had some really good food today. Norma says, Jen posted a cute wire tutorial on her Facebook this morning. I haven't seen that. I've not really been much on Facebook. I've checked in on a few people on Facebook today, but I've not actually been on Facebook much. I kind of jumped on real quick here the last, like, just before the live to look at some stuff, but um I have to look at that. I didn't see that Jen posted a tutorial. Nice. She's been trying to be more active, I've noticed, um, on her Facebook page. So I'm glad she's doing that. We want Jen to do very well. So if you don't follow Jen, please do. She's the Giggly Gypsy on Facebook. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, it's Jen, who was our teacher in the store when we were here in Ligonier, one of our teachers, and also did all of our Saturday morning tutorials for us, mostly all of them. And Andrew, I think, did one or two when I couldn't get the editing done or didn't work out in time. Um, but yeah, Jen did our Saturday morning tutorials for us. And you can still find those. I still reference those. We get people in the store often that keep saying they want to learn wire wrapping, and I send them to our Saturday morning tutorial playlist because I think Jen teaches very well how to wire wrap. And because we made those videos with very few cuts in them, you get to see the process over and over again. And I know for some people that's annoying maybe, but for beginners, I think it's super important, and I think it's a great way to learn. Len says they broke Facebook on purpose. Yes, they do. They did. They have it the way they want it. It's not broken to them, I guess, is what we gotta kind of have to see. Andrew says, I didn't see the post, but Len popped in my brain. So see, didn't even see the post, but just knew there was something in the force. Even better, right? When you're that good of friends. Susan says, our meals are so simple these days, a function of getting older, I guess. There's nothing wrong with that. Be simple. That's fine. Um, my meals have always, like, for me cooking myself, generally my meals are always simple. Always simple. Marion says Facebook is being sued. Yes, Facebook, Google, a few others are mentioned in the lawsuit. Somebody actually, I think, won part of that for pretty much, brainwashing young people. Um, so they're talking about many, many more lawsuits possibly coming out of that. So we'll see. Where's I think it was a California court found them. I think it was California. Um, Found them guilty of, I forget what the actual charge was, but it was that they are pretty much you know, changing people's brains, and not good, um, addictive, I guess, is kind of what it is. Hey, Jen, thanks for joining us. Um, May says new recipe, so I hope it turns out good. Oh, you haven't eaten it yet? I hope it turns out good too. Marion says yes, California. I thought so. I thought it was California. Work interferes with my Facebook interaction, says Marianne. Mine too. Mine too. But yeah, what's I had brown paint on my hands, and William gave me horrified looks when I came back from the bathroom. LOL. Yeah, he comes back from the bathroom. He's like, "Look at this on my hand. Is this brown stuff all over his hand?" I'm like, "What is happening in this house?" Um, yeah, that was something that happened today too. But I will tell you, I am worn out today. That being out in the sun and doing yard work, that wore me out. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and we're gonna start looking at some stuff. Get this show on the road today. Hopefully you'll like some stuff and you'll buy some stuff and um, help support us and keep everything going and help us do all these repairs and things we need to do and get Andrew's show up and running as well. So let me flip this camera around. Let me move my computer out of the way here, and flip the camera around, and we'll see what we've got today. I picked out I hope some fun stuff. Some stuff some I think we haven't shown, some we haven't shown in quite some time. Let's see, I think that's the camera I usually use. Get it closer down here. Here we go. Angela's here. Hello, Angela. Says, hello, stunning sunset complete. Nice. I didn't see the sunset. I was in the building the whole time. Um, but we have a tornado watch. So I don't know what's happening out there. But yeah. Come on. Let's see here. We're gonna do these lots are gonna be PET, pet lots tonight. I don't think we've ever done PET, so here we go. If you're new, you don't know how to do this, we give you a sheet of paper with a lot number. We'll give you a price and the quantity of those available at that price. Take down the lot number, send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. And I just realized our little thing isn't up, and I don't know why. Let me get where's my overlay? There it is. There it is. So send it to us in an email, info@allegorygallery.com. And first come, first serve. Please send a new email every time. Don't don't hit reply to a sent email. Just hit new, make a brand new email every time. Put us in your address book, info@allegorygallery.com, and send that. First come, first serve. If you do send an email and you get it, you're promising to pay for it and take it, and we'll send you an invoice via Square. All right. Marion says the sun hasn't set here yet, about another hour. Yeah, our sun would have just probably gone down recently here. I don't know when sunset is. When was sunset today? Does it tell me on my thing? 7:36. I guess so. It was about an hour ago. Sunset was about an hour ago. Oh, all right. Let's see. What have I got for you all today? So there was something here. Now, what did I do with it? There it is. This was a leftover kind of thing from the Total Request Live. Somebody asked for hint charms, and Andrew found one. So this is a little hint charm, and it's this little lion, and it's $18, PET1, and that's the only one he found. But he found it about 12 millimeters. Oh, let me get my email up too here. There we go. Let me try and get my screen set so I can see email and all the comments. There we go. And so we've got one of these available, PET1. That you can barely see, right? Sorry. Sorry, everybody. But that's what it is. Little hint charm. That's a cute. It's got a little mouth open. Andrew said they're fine silver. They're fine silver. So PET1, that's why it's $18. It's so small, but it is fine silver. One of those available, PET1. And then this one is, let's see, this was 12. I'll take it down to 10. I think this is by Andrew. And this is a polymer clay, I think by Andrew, if I'm not mistaken, bead. One of these available, PET2. Andrew says, so probably be double nowadays since this price of silver is so high. Yeah, probably should be double, right? Andrew says, I did make that. So, my calipers are going wild again. It's about 20.5 millimeters. And there's one of those available, PET2. PET3. These are another set of beads that Andrew made. And we're going to do these. We're going to do these for $8 each. There's 2 of them available. PET3 are these. Marian says, reminds me of the Roman polyhedrons they have found. I don't know what those look like, but that's cool. I think these are Andrews as well. And this is PET3. These are polymer clay, about 23 millimeters. 2 of them available, $8 each. PET3. I like these colors in these. You got the kind of swirls by the hole, and then you've got this beautiful, almost like an animal print in the center. Andrew said, those are mine. Thought so. Thought so. Let me get rid of. Okay. Hopefully my emails are working. It keeps coming up telling me I need to enter my email address or password, but then when I go to do it, it doesn't work. It doesn't say I need to do it. Marian says, the polyhedrons are interesting, but no one has any idea what they were for. Even more interesting, right? Makes them mysterious. Andrew says, art bead scene used to have prompts. I made it to look like a painting called The Jungle that has a tiger. Nice. Nice. So that's from way back. That's in the Wayback Machine. It's in the Wayback Machine, right? This is 36. I'll do it at 32 today. This is a beautiful lampwork goddess bead. Was 36, now 32. The hole goes through where the arms would be. Beautiful goddess bead. Lampwork glass. I don't know the maker. Maybe Andrew does. I don't have it anywhere listed. This is about 29 millimeters by 52. 29 by 52. Beautiful bead. Make a beautiful pendant. PET 4. Let me see something here. Okay. May said I was late to the art bead scene. Oh no. Okay. Looks like my email is working. I just wanted to make sure because I sent one to myself. It looks like it's okay, but it keeps telling me I need to put in my password. Let's see here. Okay, let's just cancel it. No, I don't want to right now. I don't want to do that. Okay. All right. Sorry. The email's getting wild. PET5. Andrew says, I think Jessica Boggs made it. Jessica Boggs on this one. I'm going to write that down just so I have it. He says, missed out on a lot of artisan beads. Yeah. Now artisan is at least the artisan there are still some people out there making the beads. There's not as many as there used to be. Even some of the ones that we used to love, they're just not being made as much anymore. PET5. Andrew said those were the days. Yeah, it was, right? The day of the blogs, everybody was around doing things. So these are African glass strands. They were 15. I'm going to do them for you for 12. This is one of the strands. These kind of beautiful light purple African glass, about 5 millimeters. And these strands are about 22 to 23 inch strands. About 23-inch strands. Not counting, of course, this part. Just the beads themselves. One strand of those available. PET5 was 15, now 12. I think it's a really pretty color for spring and summer, right? And then these were also 15. I'll do them for 12 as well. There are 2 of these ones available. PET6. And we have these lovely lovelies. These are like an opalescent, a pale, almost purpley opalescent bead. Very pretty glass. African glass beads. Look how pretty those are. And they are about 3.7 millimeters. Andrew says, I love those. Aren't they pretty? You can see that opalescence coming through. And we've just sold PET5. Thank you so much. I'll take that away since that one is sold. First sell of the day. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Well, first sell the live. You've had a few sales in the online store for the treasure hunt boxes today. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, excuse me. It's like every time I start actually showing things, I start sneezing. Yeah, these ones are really pretty. Andrew says, I got those at African Village in Tucson. May says, also, my local bead stores didn't sell them. The artisan stuff, yeah, we've always tried to stock artisan stuff. I will say that some people got some really awesome deals during our 35% off sale for some artisan beads in our online store. So if you grab those then, congrats, because you got the deals of the century there, really. Maybe not the whole century, but you know it. PET 7. I've only got one strand of these. I know some of you really love these Buddha heads. I got these white ones with the silver finish. White with silver. And these would be great for all your cloud dancer stuff. Anderson, mostly because those were my friends and I wanted to support them. Absolutely. Absolutely. And these little Buddha head beads are 14 by about 15. 14 by 15, 15 and a half, somewhere in there. May says, yeah, no artisan, but a few lamp work at one store. Well, now hopefully you at least still have stores, right? That's the whole thing now, is that before they didn't used to carry certain things. Now some it's hard to even find a bead store around anymore. We feel very fortunate to still have it. I wish we had more people who would come frequent us at the actual bead store, but we're working on that as well and trying to get ways to get people into the store and know that we exist. Let's see here. These are 18. I will bring them down to 15, but this is really a good price for this strand. PET 8. He says now no local stores at all. See, that's the hard thing, right? That's why we're so thankful to still have our shop. We've a number of times thought, do we need to close, because it's hard out there. It's hard out there. We don't want to give up. We just don't want to give up. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, we've sold 2 and both of 3. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. This is vintage check glass on a very long strand. Whoa, I just made a mess. That's 24, about 32 inches. 32 inches of a black vintage check glass. And it's in this kind of, I don't know, pebble, faceted pebble kind of shape. And they're about 4 millimeters. Jennifer says, bead shows have dwindled as well. The IBJS no longer comes to York for the Intergalactic Bead and Jewelry Show. Yeah. Andrew says, there used to be a store in York. She was my customer for years and years. Jennifer says, those look like cool. They do, right? They're super cool. And they look like cool. Andrew said, apparently there is a shop in Lancaster that's doing well. That's good. This is PET 8. You get the whole strand. It was 18. You'll get it for $15 if you order it tonight. Let me go ahead and put away the Andrew beads that have sold. It's PET 2. And PET 3. There's another thing I will say. People have been writing me, like asking about shipping, especially, some newer people, but even people who are just like asking about things, and they write and they're like, I'm sorry for taking your time, or I'm sorry for, don't ever be sorry for asking things. I don't want people to feel like that. Um, I enjoy, like, as long as it's not like a mean email, which I don't usually get from people. um, I enjoy actually interacting with y'all that way. I can't always write back a long email, but when I can, I do try and take the time to do that and spend some time. And it's the same like in messages on Facebook and stuff like that. Some people hit me up and just talk about stuff. Sometimes I can, and sometimes I'm like I have a brain that if I am in a moment where I can sit and talk with you, I can really focus in and like we will, as they say, shoot the shit, right? We will talk. And then sometimes the most I can do is be like, I'll check on that for you. Hope you're doing well. And then sometimes I don't talk more than that because it like goes out of my head then. Um, but it is like I never mind people writing. So never feel bad that you're like taking my time or anything like that. Like we are here to um, help you. So I just never want people to feel like they can't write. Um, because I'm kind of that way too. I'm like, sorry, I don't want to bother you, but it's not a bother. All right, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Hearing from our people is never a bother. So don't think you're bothering me. And like I said, if you want something shipped out more quickly than what I'm getting to for you, please just let me know. Um, and I will do my best to do that. Otherwise, I will ship out as normal. PET9. PT9 is this artisan flamenco head. Is that right? Is that a flamenco head? $8. Sorry, y'all. Something caught in my throat. $8 on this. This is about 35 millimeters by about 39 and a half with the bail. One of these available. And that's PET9. Is this Melissa, Andrew? Trying to remember who that one is. If he knows. I don't know if he knows. May says, thank goodness for Allegory Gallery. Thank you. Michelle. That's what I was thinking. Not Melissa. I was thinking McCarthy, but I don't know why I had Melissa in my head. A pale flamingo, right? I think it's Michelle McCarthy. That's who I meant. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm gonna write that down too. Michelle McCarthy. $8 on that. These are really fun. Got two of these. I love these beads. PET10 are these glittery vintage plastic beads. They're like a twisted, they remind me of like a jello, like a twisted jello, but they're super cool. You get a strand of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beads on a strand. The beads here are about, well, somewhere around 8.5 by 12, 8.5 by 12 millimeters. And I love those. PET10. All right. I'm going to put PET1 away. That's the hint charm in fine silver with his little cat lion. Got one of those available, approximately 12 millimeters. $18 on that. Just the one of those available. That was a request from Total Request Live. Andrew found one of the hint charms. That's all we can find. And then I'm going to put away PET4 as well. That's the Jessica Boggs Goddess bead for $32 instead of $36. That's a lot of bead for $32. PET4. And I'm going to move this down because I still think somebody's going to want these. Look at that opalescence. They're really pretty. I bet that would go with some peach moonstone really well. Be really pretty with that. Or amethyst. Pair that with some amethyst because it has a purple. Andrew says Beth doesn't make charms anymore. So that's it. PET6. Oh, Anne says, I just got back from talking to my sister. Glad I saw the hint charm. That was my request. Oh, good. Thank you. That one has just sold. Not to tell your business, but because people are going to match that up. It has just sold. Thank you so much. PET7 are the Buddha heads with the silver finish, white with silver finish. PET8 are the little nuggety vintage check glass strand. Isn't that wild? Check glass. So cool. Normally $18 in store, only one strand available. Now 15 for y'all if you want it. PET9 is the Michelle McCarthy pendant in ceramic. And PET10, $6 for that. Glad you can make it back too, Anne. Glad you saw it. I thought it was your request. I wasn't going to call you out because I was like, maybe she doesn't want it. That's all right. That's all right. You don't have to get everything. Andrew said those are old. What are old? These ones? Yeah, these are well vintage, right? Well vintaged. We have these at $6. Only one strand of these. PET11. These are these check glass acorns. Look how cute they are. We just sold one of PET10. Thank you. We have one left. Look at the little acorns. Oh, the black. These. Yeah, these are definitely old. These are definitely old. They'd make great spacers, right? Or really just a pop of color. We just sold those. Thank you so much. That's a really good price on them. Somebody got a good deal. Thank you. These are these little beautiful little acorns. So sweet. So sweet. Check glass acorns. And they are, let me see if I can get a hold of them here. 6 millimeters by about 8.5. One strand available, $6. Let me go ahead and put the black ones away since they are now sold. Where's the bag for that? Right here. Take these away. PET8. Oops. Thank you, thank you. Also, for yesterday's live, if you weren't able to see it, because it was the afternoon one, I know not everyone's able to join us in the afternoons. I posted on our Allegory Gallery timeline on Facebook, I posted what didn't sell. Some of the things that were still available, I took pictures of them and posted them there yesterday. So if you want to do a quick look of those, feel free to check out our timeline if you didn't see that. I thought that might help people. I had a few moments before I was actually late to pottery. But I took pictures to try and show people, because I know Wednesday afternoons are a hard day for people to make it with work and all that, since it's in the afternoon and not in the evening. These are also were 15. I'll make them 12. There's 2 of these available. PET 12. This is the African glass in this kind of peachy rosy color. It's really pretty. Some of it's a little bit more pink, some of it's more peachy, but it's a nice combination. Jennifer says the acorn beads look like carnelian. They do, right? But they're not. But they're not. And here's the other strand. So you see they're a little bit peachy, a little bit rosy. Andrew says, I love those. Aren't they so pretty? So nice. 2 strands available, $12 a strand. We just sold 11. Thank you so much. We've sold that out. No more of those available. PET 11. Like, I don't know. Do these look good together? Look at that opalescent. Those look good. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe. I just love these opalescent ones. I can't believe no one grabbed any of these 6s because I think they're so pretty. Maybe it's because the strand, you can't really see them as well, but they are so nice. And says couple of bugs and a tool yesterday. The tool was also a request. Yes, it's true. I did have bugs. I did have a tool. I had a few things. We had more of the quartz yesterday, the synthetic quartz. We didn't have real quartz, but we had the synthetic quartz. I had big beads, lots of big beads yesterday. They weren't necessarily big check glass, but they were big beads. Lots of good stuff in there, I think. Andrew says, out of thousands of strands, those were the ones I picked. Right? We just sold both of the 12s. Thank you so much. Those are both sold out. Are the peach beads the same size as the lilac ones? Let me tell you, Jennifer. They are about 4 millimeters. And which were the lilac ones? I think the lilac were 5. Yeah, you said that. They were 5. These ones are 4. So a little bit of a difference. A little bit of a difference. Nice, actually. It's kind of a nice size difference if you're using them together, I think. All right, let's see. Where am I at here? PET 13. I think I have 3 of these available. These are $2 each. PET 13. Kimberly's here. Says totally late. Hi everyone. Thanks for joining us, Kimberly. What have you been up to? These are vintage German glass in this kind of bright orange color. You get 20 beads, a lot of 20 beads for $2. Andrew says your kids are acting up. Uh-oh, maybe no sardines for them after all. Maybe no sardines if they're gonna act. Tell them White Daddy said no sardines if they act up. I'm gonna put these in a bag so they don't roll all over the table. But you can see 20 of them in there, $2. These are a beautiful bright kind of orange. They're 7.5 millimeter vintage German glass. PET 14. How have you been, Kimberly? What's happening? I got 3 strands of these. $8 a strand. Very inexpensive. And these are, I believe, a white quartz. I think these are white quartz. And $8 a strand. Full strands, 16-inch strands. You can see they're not glass. You can see they are a stone. Pretty sure they're white quartz. And these are 8mm rounds. $8 a strand. Beautiful white, very stark white. And these are great, again, for cloud dancer stuff. Andrew says they chipped one of the plates, pushing it off the bookshelf. Oh, no. They're getting rambunctious. We put a plate on. Gilbert likes to sit by himself and he eats on the bookshelf because the girls have been not letting him eat with them. So there's usually a plate up there. They must have pushed that one off. So I hope our back neighbor doesn't think I was yelling at her. Oh boy. Kimberly. Oh, May first said, uh-oh, sardines are my favorite too. Oh. Yeah, we don't eat meat, but I used to like them too. Oh, Kimberly's been dealing with a migraine mainly. Oh no. It's terrible. So they really are. I took meds and laid down. Oh boy. Well, we're glad you're here. And we hope you can continue to stay and hang out with us for a little while. But I know what they are like. So please don't torture yourself for us, right? And it says the windows are open, so I'm sure she heard me, right? Len says it's not a cheap date, but the Halo Rollerball by Sage helps with migraines. Yeah, I know Jen used to make a migraine rollerball as well. And Andrew always liked that too. I don't know if she has it on her Etsy right now or not. This is 18. I have to leave this at 18. I'm sorry. This is just so much glass for the price. Jen says, my cats are visiting me one at a time on my desk. Nice. This is vintage check glass. This is a big strand of this beautiful vintage check glass. This is a 22-inch strand. 22-inch strand. And these beads are approximately 8 by 16 millimeters. One strand available. And look at, okay, this is the combo right here. That would work so well with that. Look at that together. Andrew said those are old. Yeah, they're really old. They may, I don't know if they're antique or not, but they are old. But look how pretty that is with that purple opalescence, and you got that kind of lighter swirl going through there that kind of brings out the beiginess of that. Those are a great combo, those two together. 15 and 6. I'm running out of room, so I'm going to put 6 away. We've still got 2 of PET 6 available. Kimberly says, I will look into that, Lennis. Thank you. And I'm going to put 7 away. That's the Buddha head beads. And I'm going to also put away Michelle McCarthy bead. It's PET9. We just sold one of the 6s. Thank you so much. And 10 down. We still have 110 left. We sold one of those. Still have one. We still have the 13s left. That's the vintage German orange, bright orange glass. We have all 3 of these. I thought for sure at $8 those would sell real quick. But I guess not. Who knows? Who knows what's going to sell and when, right? PET 15, we've still got that. The very old vintage check glass strand. Let's see here. Then says if you roll it on your head, ooh, whoa, what's going on? If you roll it on your head like a halo around your forehead, yes, it will get in your hair. Just do not get it in your eyes. And I don't know why that comment came up on my machine, but did not come up on my chat. So let me go ahead and refresh my browser here. Yeah, that's so weird. It still didn't come up. So I don't know if you're all seeing that or not, but I'll read it out in case you didn't. Okay. PET 16. Let's see here. Oh, these are fun. Oh, I love these. I'll give you a little discount on these. Normally we can't do too much. These are a vintage resin bead. PET 16. Bright and fun. I think this would be super fun to kind of try to wire wrap or do like a wire design on them if you wanted to. You could use them. You could hang things kind of in front of them. Be super fun. I think they are awesome. 31.5 millimeters. Thickness wise, they are about 5 millimeters. And super cool. Vintage resin beads. $12 for the strand, down from 14. Okay. Got 2 strands of these ones. These were 11. I'll do them for 10. Can't go too low on these. PET 17 Buddha head beads in this beautiful kind of lapis colored blue. Check glass. 1 strand of those available, same size as the other ones, which was about 14 by 15.5. Andrew says, my friend Judy had them made in Indonesia. She and a friend used to go to the docks to get the shipments. They used to dress up like men so they wouldn't get hassled. Is that these? The resin that you're talking about? It's not these. These are check glass Buddha head beads. PET 17 was $11 per strand. These are from our shop, so that they will go back to the shop if they don't sell tonight, but we'll give them to you for 10. Andrew says, yes, the resin. They're really cool. Ooh, Okay. I can't really do, this is the lowest price we can go on these. PET 18. These beautiful vintage check glass drops. This is a big strand. It's a 20-inch strand. $18. Beautiful. We had some larger, I don't know if I don't think I have, I don't know if I have any. We had some larger size check glass that was kind of, it had this yellow effect to it, like almost like a pineapple quartz. And they were kind of slightly twisted. Well, they were faceted in a twisty shape. And some of y'all grabbed that. I think these would be really lovely to go with those. Andrew says, you picked a lot of the old stuff tonight. I did. I didn't realize I was doing it, but I did. Our chat somehow, is your chat on YouTube, y'all, not, are people's comments not showing up for you over there? Because I've not been getting new YouTube chat, even though people, can somebody post on YouTube if you're out there and see if the chat's updating? Because it's not updating for me. It's showing up sometimes on my screen on my phone, but I'm not seeing people's stuff in the chat. So if you're out there on YouTube, post something and see if it's showing up. I feel like something's not quite right. And it's not holding stuff. I don't see anything held for review. Okay, so Kimberly says Sarah's eating. Okay, good. So it's working. Because I've saw a few comments that have come through. Thank y'all. That for some reason it was not. You're all coming through. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Because I feel like it wasn't there for a little bit. Because I know Len posted something and then it was not up there. And Len says trying to not be the only one posting, LOL. Yeah, your posts weren't even coming up the last time. It came up on my screen, but did not come up on my chat over there. And I don't know, it still hasn't, so I don't know why. The one about don't get it in your eyes. This is 19, PET 19. It was 15, now $12. There's only one of these available. Look at that lusciousness. Talk about that. Okay, so now I got to get back out because we still have 1/6 available, PET 6. Look at these together. Ooh. Look at those working together. PET 6 and PET 19. And never, ever, ever worry about being posting too much. That's another thing people have told me. They're like, oh, I didn't want to think that I was commenting too much. We need the comments. Literally, comments are what bring people to the lives. The more you all comment, and I cannot stress this enough. When we get a lot of comments, we get more viewers. There is a correlation there. It is the one thing I can share these posts all over the place. And what ends up getting the most people to come in are when the networks see a lot of comments happening, they send people to us. So please feel free. Comment, comment, comment. Never feel bad about commenting too much. There is no such thing. Just like this is almost too beautiful to handle. Look at those together. Now I want to keep them. That's amazing. So this is PET 19. And there's only one of those, I think. Yeah, there's only one of those. This is PET 6. There's only one of these left as well. So if you didn't get PET 6 and you want those together like I do, maybe I'll keep them. If nobody gets them, I will probably keep them. Those are probably not going back to the store floor. If I can't sell those for $12, I will keep them. Andrew says the cats are being brats. I don't eat meat, but I'm gonna eat them sardines in their faces. Oh boy. Marion says, nope, don't have that comment by Len. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Andrew says, I have a soft spot for opalescent glass. I know. Me too. Jennifer says, Andrew, they will plot revenge, PET 10, I'm going to put these away. There's one of these still available. Somebody grab one. Thank you so much. I'm going to put 13 away. That's that bright orange vintage German glass. Oh no, I didn't close the bag. They're running amok. Okay, come back here. Okay. Andrew says to Jennifer, I'm bigger and meaner. I'm bigger and meaner. May says, that's funny, Andrew, about eating the sardines. Let's see. PET 13, PET 14. Nobody grabbed any of the Cloud Dancer white beads, 8mm. Smooth rounds. That's just a good. Everybody always asking us for 8mm smooth rounds. I put them on the show and nobody wants any. Poor little beads. Poor little beads. All right. We just sold the last 6 and the 19 together. Thank you so much. I had a feeling somebody was going to grab that. It's such a good combo. It's like so good. So good. All right. We got this, the 15, 16, the 17, and the 18. This looks like a pineapple quartz. Look how good that looks. So nice. Vintage check glass. Somebody else just tried to grab that 6 and 19. Let's see here. Somebody says, now you said you want them. Are you going to ban me from the live sales? No. Sometimes it's sad when somebody takes the things I like, but fortunately or unfortunately, our job is to sell the things, right? And I've got to put that front and foremost to make the money. But I am sorry somebody did grab them before you, just before you, but they snuck in and got them. So if you're that person, because we never say who wins what, but if you're budgeting, you've got your budget back because those didn't move into your basket tonight. I've got 2 strands of these. These are $7. These are a beautiful check glass drop. They're this kind of yellow green with a mercury glass finish. Mercury glass finish. I love these. Jennifer says, but they have murder mittens, and Andrew's like, they can try to cut me, but I hold grudges. Yeah, you don't want Andrew in a grudge. You don't want him holding a grudge. They know that. And they'll get their outside privileges revoked. They'll get lots of privileges revoked. 9mm by 18.5mm. Let's see here. Beautiful. PET 19, 2 strands of those, $7 each. Jennifer says, it's a challenge, but I'm trying to hold back. Marianne says, can Andrew be out revenge, though? I think there's a mistype. Be out revenge? Be Be vengeful. Andrew, can he be vengeful? No comment. No comment, y'all. No. He can hold a grudge, Andrew, if he needs to, if he wants to. Cats know. They've seen it. 20, PET 20. Oh, can Andrew be out revenged? Can he be out revenged? I think he's gonna have the last say. Especially with those cats, right? Those little naughty things. Let's see here. This is a lampwork glass in this beautiful purple. I've been pulling purple. Andrew says I'm in my healing phase, but there was a time when I wasn't. Look at this. Y'all, I didn't plan this, I promise, but look, it's like perfection. It's like the swirl is in there. How do you get a modern lampwork glass with a very old vintage check glass strand and it looks that good together? Like they were meant to be. It's got it's got like the perfect tones. Jennifer says that is so great a match. And I did not plan it. I almost took this off the board. Thank goodness I didn't. Look at that. That lamp work is awesome, says Marianne. And it's only $10. Took it down to $10. So for $28 together, you could have those. And look at that you could build like this again is a 22-inch strand. That's a necklace. You just restring that. That's already a necklace. $28 together. Let's see here. Anne says, "He who holds the sardines holds the power." Andrew, he's gonna spitefully eat those sardines. He's gonna enjoy it while he does it too, I bet. All right. Len says, necklace makes itself, just add some aqua, right? It's true. All right, we've just sold 20. We haven't sold 15 though, so I guess that's that. Let's see. Sold 20. Let me put that away. Up, and we did sell 15. Thank you so much. Starting to thunder here in Kingston, says Danette. Uh-oh. I haven't heard thunder here yet. Thank goodness. Not yet. Len says, potato pills make good revenge. That's all I'm saying. Potato pills? What is that about? Never heard of that. Oh, I was like, what is this? There's nothing there. It's because I didn't get to it yet. Andrew says, I don't care if it gives me diarrhea. Oh boy. Poop talk. We got the poop talk going. Yeah, eating meat after not eating meat for like 10 years probably would cause some internal issues. We'll say that. This is beautiful antique African beads. This one is particularly lovely. This was a $26 bag. I brought it down to 22. Normally, never reduce this. Normally, never. And some of these, like this one's, it had been cracked at some point. These are antique. These are old, y'all. And so they're gonna be well loved because they've traveled the world. These are African trade, Venetian originally. I think from around the 17 to 1800s. Andrew says I can see the lightning. Okay, so it is starting to happen. And these, you get these. So you get this whole lot of these beads for $22. Really pretty. This is one of my favorite little blends. I should not have reduced the price, to be honest. Because that's a good price anyway. But little bonus for y'all if you want that. It's already sold. No take backs, William. It's already sold. Thank you so much. Let me put that away. Okay. I'm still wondering what this potato peels and revenge is. Check the back of your left arm. Oh, you did. I got a tick on me. Let me see. One moment, y'all. I gotta get my tweezers. All right. And now let me get a plastic bag. I know you just jinxed yourself, said Andrew. Yep. All right. So, tick removed, put in a plastic bag. Gonna have to send that away. It was already smushed on my arm. It was totally flat smushed. So I don't know how long it had been there, but I don't think it had a chance to grab anything out of me. And says, good thing you were near a bunch of plastic bags. Send that little bugger off to the lab. Yes. Yep. It had stuck on me, but then it got smushed. So it didn't blow up, which is a good thing. So I don't think it wasn't sucking on my blood, but we'll send it off. Thank goodness we have testing, right? TMI, said Jennifer. TMI. It's just a little thing. All right. This is a beautiful bead. PET 22. And this is a ceramic. I don't know who made this. There's a maker mark, but I don't know it. But it's a large bead or pendant. And it's $8. ceramic PET 22, 21.7 by 38 millimeters. May says, glad you got it off. Yeah, me too. I'm glad Andrew saw it because I'm sitting here and didn't even see it, but it's riding along with me. Sorry about that, y'all. But I was not going to leave it on me while we were give it a chance to sink in even more. PET 22. I like this. I think these colors would go really well together. Maybe even throw in some of this. Right? I like that. I like that combo. Marianne says it's looking at me. The bead. Oh, it's looking at you. All right. PET 23. All right. These are vintage, well, antique Venetian from the 1700s and 1800s. These are Millefiori. They are $20 a pair. PET 23. I do have a few pairs available. These are old, from the 1700s and 1800s. Marius is wide-eyed with surprise. PET 23 for these. And you get a pair of them for $20. These are some of the other ones I've got. Vintage, well, antique, Venetian, Millefiori. And they are about 10.5 by 15 millimeters. 10.5 by 15 millimeters, approximately. Not necessarily a cheap date, but they are history right there from the 17 and 1800s. Beautiful beads. Antique Venetian. All right. Good inspo for our book. That's right. Thank you, Marianne. That's a good way to bring up book club, Inspired by Reading, y'all. April 10th is our book club meeting for Inspired by Reading. We are reading The Glassmaker by Tracy Chevalier. Be sure to join us on Zoom on April 10th, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. and get ready to make a project or show us the project you've made. Beautiful. This is another ceramic piece, artisan ceramic. I don't know who, but I love this bead. The holes go through this way, so it could sit this way, or it could sit this way. Andrew said, storms are coming. Yeah, I can hear thunder now. I love this bead. I don't quite understand how this was made, but I like it so much. Nancy Adams Round Rabbit. Okay, let me write that down so it's on the paper too. In case no one grabs it. And says it looks like Round Rabbit. Yep, it is. In case no one grabs it, I'll have that information for later. 28.5 by 34.7 millimeters. Super cool bead or pendant. Love it. PET 24. $22. I'm going to go ahead and put 16 away. No one has grabbed that. Andrew says underglaze was painted on and wiped off, and then indented or painted on, wiped off inside. I don't know. I find it so hard to really wipe it clean when I have, I don't know. I'm gonna put these away. They were 14, bringing them down to 12. Anne says, Lorelei Urto always did the most wonderful things with that shape of bead. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm missing, like, I feel like we don't see people's designs as much anymore, right? Like, am I the only, like, I know people are still out there making stuff, but I feel like we don't see it the same way we used to. PET 17, $10. I cannot believe no one grabbed this one, but all right. It's okay. Like I said, that would go with some of that check glass we had from our last buyout. It was kind of yellow crystal, like that. Oh, I hear rain now. Now I'm feeling itchy everywhere, y'all. I'm just feeling itchy. Isn't that weird how that your brain does that to you? Now every itch, I'm like, is that a bug? Is that something? PET 25. These are so cute. $8 each. There are 2 of these available. Susan says, I love those Buddha head beads. I know. You probably got all of them though already. Andrew says, we see more in the group. A lot of design groups are spammed with gem sellers and AI. That's true too. That is true. We are lucky. All right. These little beads, or these little hedgehogs, aren't those adorable? They got holes that go down through from top to bottom. They are flat backed. There is a maker mark. I don't know. Andrew probably knows. I can't tell who that is. But these are so dang adorable. Kim says, you're having thunder, lightning, tornado warnings, and blood-sucking bugs. You are a dedicated bead store owner to stay live with us. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to get through the anxiety of thinking, like, what is crawling on me? Susan says, I hate those AI spammy ads, right? Super cute. 2 of these available. PET 25. Let me give you dimensions on these. 14 millimeters by 22. 14 by 22. Marianne says, super cute, right? They are super cute. PET 26. All right. Kylie Perry. What's that? I don't know references, Andrew. Anybody else know what he's talking about? Okay. These are lovely bags of check glass leaves. Oh, the maker of the hedgehogs. Who just sold both of the hedgehogs. Thank you so much. These are, sorry, people are, it says the hedgehogs live by pet 20. Oh, they live by that, right? Yeah. This is a whole bag of check glass leaves. And if you just recently got our treasure hunt boxes, these were not in there. Anne says, I think those hedgehogs were Rebecca Payne from Three Wings Studio, says Anne. Susie says, storm is nearly here. It's raining here already up here, Susie, so it's probably headed that way if it's not already there. We've got thunder, lightning, rain. I hear it on the roof now. Beautiful check glass. You get the whole bag of it. If you've got one of our treasure hunt boxes, these are not in there, but they would make a great addition to many of the things in there. And they're only $10 for the whole bag. PET 26. PET 25 away. Andrew says, oh, that could be, I think, referring to Anne's suggestion that they're from Rebecca Payne. Okay. What else do I have in here? PET 27. Kimberly said, did the boxes sell out? Oh, yes, you missed that. Yes, the last one sold just about, and since Danette already said, Danette grabbed it just about like 4 minutes before I went live. Lynn says, thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. Mm-hmm. And blood-sucking bugs. PET 27 is this pendant. It's a 2-hole pendant, but it's really cool. It's an artisan-made ceramic. Kim says Galileo. And $6 for this. Kimberly says that's awesome. Yeah, they shipped out today, with the exception of the last one, since it was just 4 minutes before the live. Dropped them off at the post office today, so they are on their way to everybody. 29.5 millimeters on this by 45.5 millimeters. Beautiful pendant. Love that. PET 27. PET 28. Let's see here. PET 28, $5. Is this ceramic pendant? Super cool. Not sure who made these. This one kind of looks like a tie. I would like a tie like that, actually. I think it's a really cool design and really beautiful color. It is about 13 millimeters by 42.5. PET 28. Let's see here. These were 16. Let's drop it. I have one left. Drop it down to 12. Andrew says, I think you have a tie like that. I probably do. I probably do. And it says, looks like a necktie had a baby with an octopus in a good way. Right? I can see that. I can see that. I'm not sure what stone this is. I think it's a jade. It's a beautiful green color. Faceted rounds at 7.5 millimeters. It is a 16-inch strand. And they're really pretty. And it was 16 for the strand, now 12. One strand available. And oh no, I ran short by one thing. All right. I've got these here. These are a weird, they're a weird thing today, but this is what I've got right beside me. And so, you'll see why I'm saying it's weird. PET 30 are a pair of these dyed magnesite jack-o'-lanterns. $1 a pair. We've got multiple pairs available if you'd like more than one. It's just weird because we're nowhere near the time for these, but this is what I've got sitting right beside me, so I'm going to go with them. They're really cool. They're drilled top to bottom. They're $1 a pair. And they're dyed magnesite. And I've got multiple lots of those available. And that's it, my friends. 30 lots for tonight. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. I'm going to go work on the spreadsheet and invoicing. Halloween in March, says Marianne, right? Why not? Halloween all the time. And then I'm going to get Danette's box ready to ship out. Hopefully be able to drop that off in the post office tomorrow. And then go home and check myself for more ticks, apparently. So Andrew says, I was looking at those earlier. Kimberly says it's closer than you realize since it's the end of March, right? Bonsoir all, says Marianne. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. We will be back here tomorrow, Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time to show you more things. And then our next together time will be on Sunday night in the D-Stash group. So if you haven't joined us there, please join us at the Andrew Thornton Project D-Stash. It is a closed group. You do have to request to get in, but if we know you, we'll let you in. And Susan says, Welpergeistnacht is next month. So I have no idea what that is, but awesome. Stay safe out there, says Kim. Good night, everyone. Sweet dreams, says Susan. Yes, y'all too. I'm going to be careful driving home. I don't know what's going on out there, but I will see you all back here tomorrow night. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have an amazing evening, and we'll see you back here soon. Oh, and 7 p.m. Yes, Andrew says 7 p.m. is his art drop. So 7 p.m. on the online store. His art items are only available in the online store. So definitely check that out. It's 7 p.m. tomorrow. I will be sending a reminder email tomorrow about that for y'all. All right. So you don't forget. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one.